You are now listening to the Mill Social Talks podcast, hosted by Leroy Villamil, Chicago's best and finest when it comes to real estate. Find your forever home with Mills Realty.
Hi guys, thanks again. This is Leroy Villamil at Mills Realty, and you are listening to the Mills Social Talk podcast. So today, we have a great topic today. We're talking construction today. We have in studios today, we have Mr. Kennith King, CEO and President of UDC Construction. And Kenneth will give us some really good tips today on what we can do, what people does, how to correct a lot of different things. And today's all about construction and what homeowners should know. So today, if you are a homeowner, you plan to be a homeowner, it's a great topic to listen to. And as we do this, we can always reach out to Kenny and he'll give us his information. So Kenny, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Hi. Hello.
Kenny again, President and CEO of UDC Construction. So tell me a little about UDC and before we kind of get into construction, tell me a little about when you got started and a little bit about your background so the people listening knows exactly who you are.
Okay, well, my name is Kenneth King. I'm president and currently president and CEO of UDC Construction LLC, located 441 West 102nd Street in Chicago, Illinois, 60628. You can reach us at UDC, the whole word construction, LLC at Gmail. UDC Construction basically was an idea that I had been working on for maybe the past 10, 15 years. I've been in construction basically the majority of my life. How I got into construction was my granddad was a painter.
Well, usually that's how it starts, right?
It starts at home, right? Everything starts at home, right?
Yeah,
so my granddad was a painter. We lived in Southside and Hyde Park. He painted high-scale, high-end mansions, condos, and apartments.
Okay.
So, that being said, I was a little boy, right? So when you're a little boy, what you do is you get up. They tell your ass, get up and come out here and do some work, boy. So you can get a couple of dollars.
So Granddad starts you out.
Granddad starts me out.
Well, that's good.
Well, hold on. Granddad didn't start me out. Mom started me out.
Okay.
Well, when I was a little, we moved a lot. We moved around a lot. So
was Mom in construction?
No, Mom was into painting. So every time we moved, we had to paint our apartment because this was Mom. You know how Mom.
Oh,
is.
yeah,
She
yeah.
wants this like this. She wants this like this. So every time we moved, we had to paint. So that kind of started it. The segue was, I got a little older. Maybe I was 13, 14. My granddad needed help. Well, he was great on his own, but, he needed help. And
right.
I was a laborer. I started out as a laborer, taping, cleaning up, picking up stuff from the store, whatever was needed was done. So that was my introduction into construction. I followed that up with an engineering degree and then also a construction degree. I'm a carpenter by trade.
Okay.
So I'm a general contractor. I'm an overall general contractor. So when you grow up and you're into these trades and you're the type of person that I am, I'm the type of person that I'm a starving for knowledge type individual.
And that's a good thing. That's a great thing when you're starving for knowledge.
So which means I'm on the job, there's an electrician there, there's a plumber or whoever. I don't know anything about any of this. But however, I know from dealing with apartments, because we weren't homeowners at that point. Well, my mom wasn't anyway. So I know that we always had to fix stuff. And I always want to know how to fix stuff. So people come in and I see people fixing stuff, and man, I ask them questions and I try to work for them really. Hey, you need me to go do this? I'll go do that. I was the gopher. Go run and do this. Go run and do it. And when you build a rapport with these guys like that, because they don't want to leave a job to go get a coffee or whatever they need, some water or, go to the store. So to segue off of the painting, what happened was I went ahead and I learned how to be a carpenter. I went to school for carpentry. And I learned how to do electrical, plumbing. I learned about different general maintenance things because I was always curious as to why things were the way they were. And I wanted to save my mom money, right? It actually started with my mom. I wanted to save her money. And then I wanted to save myself some work, which I never got a chance to do, but we're still working.
So basically, it started from your mom, and then your grandfather was a painter. So were you an apprentice with your grandfather most of the time?
Absolutely. He had his own painting company. Like I said again, in Hyde Park, he had his own painting company. So, well, I spent a lot of time with my grandma when I was younger. So she, I was right in the house with them. So come on, let's go do some work. And it wasn't like I was his partner. It was like, hey, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this.
Well, it usually starts, for I'm going to say our generation, it starts from your grandfather, your grandma, your daddy, you know what I'm saying? And it's a good thing, too, when daddy and mama brings you into the business and you being a part of that business, you become, they may get to one level and you get to another level, like maybe your kids get to a higher level, and I see it all the time. So that's sort of how you started from family, and they just started, then you got it. So now that we have an idea, and you are, by the way, a licensed contractor.
Yes, I am a licensed contractor, licensed general contractor with the city of Chicago. And what also happens is, if you're not in the municipality of Chicago, what happens is, if you're in the suburbs, what happens is I go to the town hall or whatever, and I check in and I pay a fee, and then I can come and work in your house.
So you can work anywhere in Illinois, basically.
Yes.
Anywhere in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, license and insurance, yes.
All right. So now that you're a general contractor, so now that we established that, and by the way, we're talking to Kenny at UDC Construction, if you just joined us. This is the Mills Realty Talk podcast. So tell me a little bit about, what do you see, and we'll get into a lot of different things, what do you see people do when it comes to construction? What do they normally call you to do? Let me say this, let me rephrase this way. People that have homes, and a lot, they do a lot of stuff by themselves. What's a common mistake do you see people do? Is there a common mistake people do before they call a contractor?
Well, yeah, there are a lot of mistakes. The first mistakes a lot of people do is they call the wrong contractor. Only because, no, seriously. They call the wrong contractor. They call somebody that's starving for money, or just money is their God, or money
cost.
Is the cost
of
whatever needs to be done. Generally, what I like to do is I like to educate my consumer and my customer and my client base. Is I work with them so that they can be hand in hand with me, so they're going along and they're not generally so much confused. What generally happens when you go into someone's house is they tried to do something on their own, or they've paid someone to do something and they got burnt, or something got done and it got half done, or it didn't get done properly. So now the money's been spent, okay, the contractor's gone, or you've attempted to do something that you thought was something very easy, and what happened was, for whatever reason, it went bad. And it's generally because you don't have the expertise on whatever it is that you're doing. It could be anything, small things like painting, electrical, plumbing. But with it being such a beautiful rainy day today, let's start talking about home maintenance. Let's start talking about gutters and foundation.
Okay.
We got the rain, right?
We got the rain.
So generally what happens is it rains, you've got this beautiful house, or you've bought this beautiful house, or you've been maintaining this beautiful house for a year, however many years or whatever, and all of a sudden, bam, it rains one day, and then you got some type of seepage or leakage in your basement.
Okay.
So that can start from one or two places. So they start from the bottom and work your way up. So let's start at the foundation of our houses. Now, generally, the foundation of our houses they're put together with concrete. And if you know anything about concrete and you know anything about time and weather, it has a way of, getting in and deteriorating.
Right.
So you have to go around your house and you have to check for cracks around the perimeter of your house all the way around. You have to check for cracks around your windows. You have to check for cracks around your doors, and then you have to make sure that your gutters are properly cleaned and aligned. You have to make sure that your downspouts are clean, because what happens is, so if you're like me, I got all these trees around my house.
I know, man, but the trees damage the roof, isn't it? Trees can damage your roof.
The trees can damage your roof in one or two ways. The most non-impactful way is the leaves.
The leaves, yeah. In the gutters.
The leaves, the soil, and they're in the gutter. Correct.
Okay.
So if you let the maintenance get away, what happens is it's just like it becomes a flower pot on the side of your house, but on the roof. Right. That's the best way of describing it. Like, if you've ever been up on your roof and you've cleaned the gutter, or you've ever seen someone cleaning your gutter or cleaning anything out of the gutter, what happens is the leaves get in, they block up the downspout, and people don't know what the downspout is. That's the conduit, that's the piece of aluminum that's coming down on the side where water's coming out at the bottom to redirect the water away from the roof and your house. Okay? And back to what I was saying. The gutters may be misaligned, but generally they're filled with debris and leaves.
And that affects your roof. And if you have trees around your house, I know for a fact, because now the trees can get into your foundation too, correct?
The roots.
The roots. And so if you got trees all over your gutters, you gotta try to get rid of the trees from over your home. And some people, a lot of people in the suburbs, they don't want to. They say that it's shade, but it does shorten the lifespan of your roof.
So we had this last night. We were on the north side of Chicago, and so here in Evanston last night we had a lot of trees breaking off and falling.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make a difference how big that tree is. Mother Nature has some way of uprooting that tree. Now, tree remover is very expensive. Okay. If you've ever tried to get trees removal, or you don't have the machinery or the apparatus to take care of it, tree removal is very expensive. So, generally what people try to do is they try to target the limbs that are in close proximity to their home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You following me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which means you got the tree and it sprouts and it hangs over, and God, no one knows when those limbs are going to break. These trees have been here, 100 years or hundreds of years, or sometimes you get the planting. The problem is when the tree is hanging over and it's in close proximity to your home, if it breaks, you're in liability. Well, you're not liable, but it's just a hazard for your home.
So one of the first tips you're given is, if you have trees over your roof, try to cut them.
Try to trim them back, and try to get someone that's licensed and reputable and someone that has skill in that.
To remove
especially removing those tree limbs, because you could be cutting it right here and you think it's going to fall straight and it'll fall over here. They just have so much knowledge and expertise on it. Like, I don't cut trees. I'm a general contractor, so what I would do if you had a tree is I bring my tree guy in and we come in, because he has so much expertise. And that's the great thing about being a general contractor. You're not responsible. You're responsible for everything that happens under that contract.
Okay. Absolutely.
However, the thing
if someone hires a general contractor, I want to be clear on this. Someone hires a general contractor, and that general contractor brings in a tree guy.
You're hiring a group. You're hiring.
But the general
just
contractor
like,
is mainly responsible for the job.
He's responsible for everything.
For everything. So if you got to sue somebody or take somebody to court, you take a general contractor to court. You don't take a true guy.
The contractors that I'm going to use are licensed as well.
No, I'm just saying if something happens.
If I bring a subcontractor on, so what you're saying is the responsibility, yes, the responsibility lies with me. However, if I bring a subcontractor on, I bring someone that's licensed,
right.
Someone that has the skill and the moxie and the know-how to get the job done.
Gotcha.
So,
So whenever you bring someone in, they got to be reputable. So if you want people that are listening out there, when you hire a contractor, make sure that your contractor brings other people, and make sure do you provide licenses for those particular? Do you show your client the licenses for the other people, or they only assume?
Well, what happens is if I need a license, I go to the city, whatever municipality, and I pull the license or permit myself.
No. My question was, if you bring on a subcontractor, do you provide the license of that subcontractor to the homeowner?
Well, the license is actually they're actually going over with a trust factor for me, knowing that I got all my stuff together. Okay. It's just like and they call you general contractor for a reason. It's just like a general in an army. Say you're going to war. We're going to war to fix these people's houses up. So what you got is you got a tank division, you got a artillery division, and then these people are the plumber, the licensed guys that's up under you with their own license and insurance that they carry. Mm-hmm. So you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you're actually protecting yourself and you're protecting your customer as well by having reputable people underneath me. Which means I'll be the first contact and I'll be the last contact. Anything that goes wrong
comes through you.
Yeah, I'll hear all the complaints, and I'll hear
you'll hear everything.
Yeah, and I generally the complaints and the praises, I'll hear both.
You'll hear both.
Hopefully, I won't be hearing any complaints.
But it comes from you.
It's gonna come through me.
It's gonna come from you. Okay, so my question is there? All right, so we got it. Is it? Let me just get another tip. Give me a plumbing tip that people does, or is there any plumbing issues that homeowners do that's a common mistake?
A common mistake
in the plumbing area.
As far as what?
Whether it's a sink, whether it's the tub, is there any rotting? I mean, that they find out.
For homeowners, I got kids at home, so one of the most simplest things that we can do is make sure all those drain holes, the kitchen, the bathroom, the tub, make sure those holes are covered. Mm-hmm. Because our kids, they come in with the toothbrush, the toys, the whatever, the towel. I just had a situation at my home. Here we know the system was empty. Mm-hmm. We know the system was clean. Everything was running through great. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, what happens is, bing. All of a sudden, everything's coming back up. You run in the tub, you get out of the tub, and the water's not going down. Okay? Well, the water's not going down because, hey, there's a towel or a dish rag in the system that you didn't know about because there never was a drain trap or a
underneath. Correct.
You might be familiar with these things in your home. You know what I'm saying? If you look at your bathroom or your kitchen sink or whatever, you can always see it's a little strainer at the bottom. I mean, that's one of the simplest things to keep you from spending money with a plumber. Plumbing is expensive, people. Very, very expensive.
We hear you.
So, that being said, They used to say a long time, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The best thing that you can prevent, I mean, the most common problems in homes is rot outs, right?
Mm-hmm. Most common.
Something gets in the system, it clogs the system up, the water goes down so far, it gets backed up, it's running all over the place. Toilets as well.
Good tip. Go ahead.
Keep those toys out the toilets, babies.
Keep them up.
Yeah, because what happens is a toy gets lodged in the toilet. It's went down past the swoop point of where you can see it, and it's down there. Nobody knows what happened. Little JoJo, they come in and there, flush the toilet, and it's lodged in there. So, one of the things that you might want to go get for your home is a toilet auger.
Toilet auger. What is that?
So a toilet auger is a device that they use to, it goes down so far, maybe 6 to 8 feet, which is enough clearance of where anything that's going to be trapped in the toilet should be in that range, in that realm of this is why they designed it. So it's just, you've seen them. So it's like you pull it up, and then you it's a twisty thing. It's a long rod, and then you turn it, and then it. Hopefully, if everything is okay and the stuff isn't down too far, then you can go ahead and push it down. The system will take care of it from there, and it'll swoosh and go out into the main sewage. However, sometimes things get clogged down there that you can't get to right away, and then that's where this plumber guy comes in.
That's where UDC comes in.
Hey, that being said, UDC, we started out as property maintenance company, which means any type of small repairs. You need a wall built, you need something repaired, you need something replaced, electrical, plumbing, cosmetic, or whatever. We come out and we accommodate you.
All right, so what we'll do is, this is, we've gotten some great tips from UDC. We'll, in our next session, we'll be back. Now, where can they find you? Where can they find you?
I don't have a social media presence at this point.
Number.
However, my phone number is 773-322-6830. That's 773-322-6830.
And your email?
U as an umbrella, UDC, the whole word construction, LLC at Gmail.
All right, so again, this is Leroy at Mills Realty, the Mills Realty podcast. So when we come back on our next show, I want you to keep on listening. We'll come back with UDC. We'll bring him back and on the next show, and we have a lot to talk about. But so get back to us next week on the next show, and UDC will be on again to actually give us more tips, because I think this is a very important subject. So again, Leroy at Mills Realty. Thanks again for listening to Mills podcast. Please join us. Leave a comment. Leave a message. Whatever you want to talk about, let us know. We will bring that to you. Again, Leroy at Mills Realty. Thanks for listening to the Mills Realty podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Mills Social Talks podcast. Remember to follow this podcast on whatever platform you desire. Episodes are released weekly, and if you enjoyed participating, please follow us at The